What's going on, everybody? Isaac Fleischer here, and welcome to another iHoopsFL interview. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, iHoopsFL. I post all the highlights, all the best clips from any of these interviews that I've ever done. So definitely follow me, check me out on there. And then also make sure you guys follow me on my Twitter at iHoopsRecruits. That's where I post some recent recruitment info on some of these guys I've interviewed, along with every single article that I've written for a company down here in South Florida. So again, iHoopsFL for the interviews, Twitter at iHoopsRecruits for recent recruitment info and articles. But anyways, enough about me. Let me bring on our guest right now. What's going on, my guy? How you been?
What's going on? Doing good.
That's awesome, man. And before we get into some not serious, but like the stuff that people probably care about more. Something I'm wondering is that it seems like you're really into anime and mangas and all that stuff. So why are you so interested in that?
I just like the whole culture behind it and the history behind it. That's what mainly dropped my attention to it. But now I just use it for just relaxing reasons. I mean, reading mangas and watching the anime. It just stress relievers and it helped me ease my mind with long days and stuff like that.
And you mentioned like the culture and history and all that stuff. Like what exactly do you like about it?
It's different from it. I like the maturity level of it and the creativity level of it. It's different from regular cartoons that you would just watch as a kid. That's the difference that I like about it.
And just out of curiosity, like you're saying like maturity, but I know they're like cartoons. So is this stuff that like little kids there watch, or not only for like adults, I guess?
The majority of the anime community probably is preteen to adult because the content you probably would understand it more if you're adult to preteen because it's not all about like it has some mature content in it that you need to be older to understand. Like a little kid will not understand a lot of stuff that goes on.
And I don't want to like be incorrect, but there's like it's either probably Chinese or Japanese. I'm assuming that like you pretty much using like all your captions, like it's in your bio. Like, wait, which language is that? Because obviously, I don't know how to speak it. So
I don't know how to speak it either, but I know some phrases and things like that just from watching sub anime. But it's Japanese. It's Japanese.
okay, wait, is Japanese? Is that only like is anime only Japanese stuff?
Um, it's is adapted from to Japanese, but the it could be anime could come from a web comic. It doesn't have necessarily come from a manga, but it's Japanese and historically it has been Japanese. That's where it started. So
Okay, so I mean, I technically like even though you said like I don't know Japanese, but I mean let's see. So this one post, I'm counting two posts, three, I think four, yeah, five. I mean in five posts, you use Japanese besides your commitment post. Pretty much every post, you use Japanese as like your caption. So you just been able to pick that up just from like watching the shows and learn like the language and the stuff, or did you kind of have to copy and paste it from like a Google Translate thing?
mm. Good question. Some were copied and paste, but some phrases I know like I can think of a particular post or even that's in my bio. It's a phrase. I'm the strongest and I'll show you why. Like I knew that phrase from anime, and it's a lot of phrases like the word what. I know a couple phrases and words, but some of those are copied and pasted.
And do you learn that? Like how are you able to pick that up? Is it because like one of the subtitles is it because like maybe it's in English and the subtitles are Japanese or vice versa? How are you able to pick that up?
Yeah, no, the other way around. So they're speaking in Japanese, but the subtitles are in English. So you will hear a word and then it translated to English. So if you hear that word, you search it. If you search it on Google Translate, it goes show you how it's spelled in Japanese writing.
And I'm assuming that your high school doesn't offer a Japanese class, but I have a good feeling UF probably does. Just, being a college, being a big school. Are you considering maybe learning like Japanese for real maybe in college? That's something you may want to do.
Oh, definitely, definitely. If I take a foreign language, that definitely probably be at the top of my list to learn.
So if they were like, Kowacie, we're gonna need you to like pick a language as part of your schedule. I mean that so Japanese would be your number one for sure.
That would be my number one because I heard it's pretty hard to learn. It take years and years to learn, but I'm up for it just because I like the whole culture.
I mean, at least for myself, as much as I would love a culture, like if I'm gonna fail a class, I'm not gonna do it because I love the culture. Like that's not it's not really my mentality.
I mean, the work ethic that I have, I mean, with anything I do in my life is different. I think different from others. So I think even if the possibility of me failing is higher than me passing the class, I don't think that would be a problem for me because my mindset is at a stand of not of failing is not really. I'm not really thinking about that. I'm thinking about passing the whole time.
Yeah. So have you ever, had an opportunity when I guess things didn't go your way and you may have ended up failing, even if I'm sure like it wasn't on that big of a scale, but since you kind of said like I have that mentality where I like never fail, I never lose. How does circumstance where things didn't go the way you wanted to ever happen before, and how are you able to deal with that?
Oh, definitely. Like so, even if failing is not on your mind in life, you're gonna fail. It's just about your ability to keep trying. So if I fail at anything in life, on the court, it could be off the court, anything, it just not just leave it at that. I failed or oh well or sit there and feel sorry for yourself. You got to get back up and try it again and keep trying until eventually anything in life, man, it hates things being relentless. So if you're relentless at something, nothing wants to stand in front of that.
For sure, man. And just one more question, about anime. So, I mean, I think I told you, like, I'll probably never watch anime. Let's say I was really eager to. I wanted to ask you, like, what should, my very first, like, episode or series kind of be? What would you put me on?
I probably just introduce you to some of the shonen. The main well, shonen is quote unquote mainstream, most popular. So Naruto or My Hero or something like that. Just to introduce you to it, stuff that you probably heard about that don't really know what it is, and that'll probably make you see how it is. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. But that's what I'll probably do.
And being a 6'6" shooting guard, uh, I'm just gonna assume because the name shooting guard. I'm sure you have a pretty nice shot, but obviously, I mean 6'6", like it's not like extremely tall, but that's like pretty big, I would say, at least for maybe a high school shooting guard. How are you able to be just such an elite shooter and such an offensive threat instead of kind of like the basic high school big man?
Just came for years and years of work. I mean, I always was able to shoot, but once I grew and then put it all together and just kept working, I mean, it was just endless from there.
And being ranked 70th in the country, I mean, by ESPN, like that's something a lot of people can't say they've accomplished. Like being ranked by ESPN, I feel like for number 1 to 100, if you're on that ESPN rankings, at least for now, like I would say that's just like almost a bucket list item. But just since you have a good size and you're not kind of playing that big man in high school where when you get to college, like it's not going to be the same circumstances. Like it's almost like you're playing the way you're going to play in college now. Just how high do you think your ceiling is? And yeah, I guess where do you maybe see yourself like by the time you get out of UF? Because I mean, you just have I guess like a lot more better pathway just since you're kind of working on the game in high school that you are going to do in college as well.
Well, I think I have a high ceiling, but it's just all about going in there, executing, and learning and listening. Because the next level is very different from high school, and I understand that. Because it's all about learning how to play basketball. You're playing a system. It's in isolation. You can't just come down and jack up a shot whenever you want to. And I understand that about the next level. But I see myself as playing as the same way I play now, just in a more systematic form.
And I don't know if you can tell us this, but what is that Gators, I guess, style of play and that Gators system that you'll be, a part of next year? If you could kind of share like how it all works over there.
Well, I know last season they ran a lot of sets, but obviously I talked to the coaches a lot. And this year they're playing faster at a faster pace and pressing on defense and running a dribble drive offense. So I think they're giving their guys a little bit more freedom as long as they're in the right spots and doing what they're supposed to do.
And I guess let's say like they never switched over, I guess, to more of a dribble drive offense kind of thing. Do you think UF would still be, the best place for you, or do you think them kind of switch up with style of play and like letting like even though we ran a lot of sets last year, this year we're going to kind of give our guys a lot more freedom? That make them like one of the more appealing schools, or was it kind of like regardless if they were going to run the sets like they usually do, or kind of change their offense, you would have still ended up at UF?
Well, they just implemented that this season, and I committed like this summer. They just implemented that like when they just started practicing, so that wasn't a factor. Their style of play, because in college teams, a lot of the teams' style of play are very similar. So you're just gonna have to learn how to play basketball in the end anyway in college.
That's kind of funny. He's like, so you're telling me that like teams don't play, like obviously I haven't watched every single college team. I'm not really being recruited by schools where they're going to break down the style of play for me. But are you telling me like most schools kind of play like basketball at all similarly? Because I thought for sure, it's all kind of like, I guess in the end, like it's all similar, but at the same time, it's like, I guess you could say they all run sets, but they're all kind of different styles of sets. Maybe what you were trying to say in a way.
Yeah, it's all sets, but they're all different styles, like you say. But at the same time, it just on the next level, it's just more of an IQ thing. So it's more of reading, knowing what spots to be in, making yourself visible to be open, cutting, back screening, just stuff like that. Stuff like that on the next level that you're just gonna have to learn and know instead of just standing around on the court while the play is going on.
And obviously, again, I'm going to say this again, being ranked number 70th in the country by ESPN, just, waking up in the morning every day knowing I'm one of the top 100 players. And you're even ranked higher on 247 Sports, I think. So just being one of the top 100 players in the nation for your class and like waking up every morning with that feeling, just how does that feel? Knowing that literally like not many people have achieved what you've achieved, and you're probably like, maybe 0.1 or sorry, not 0.1, maybe like 1 or 2% of the kids in the whole nation that, are at your level for basketball. Just how does that feel every day knowing that that's who you are?
Well, it feels good, but it also motivates me to work even harder, because I think when guys get to that level of status, they put I don't know, I can't find a word for it, but they start to think of themselves as higher, and that's not the case, because especially when you get to
Hollywood.
Yeah, that's the right word. That's the word I was looking for. But like that's not going to be the case on the next level, because it's basically like you're starting over from scratch. So you have to prove why you belong, man. And the whole thing of entitlement, thinking because they said this why they recruited me, that's going to be the case when I get there. No. See, I look at it different. I don't look as being entitled to anything. I look at having to earn everything, pushing myself, my teammates pushing me, and just learning on the next level.
And you mentioned, or technically I kind of told you what the word was. Like you talk about how some guys, feel super entitled. They feel like, once they kind of see that ranking, like they're a lot better than most people. I mean, some players, I'm not going to say names, but like some literally follow 4 people and they have, like probably over 10,000 followers. And like usually only NBA players do that, but they kind of, all act like they're in the NBA already when they haven't even gotten to college. But I mean, you're probably one of like the nicest guys I've actually ever, met, at least on social media. Like you're respectful, easy to deal with, all that stuff. Just like, how were you able to make that mentality where I'm going to treat everyone with respect and I'm not really going to act satisfied or too cocky yet?
That just comes with character. That's just the person that I am. I mean, status in life should never make you think that you're higher than anyone else. Because at the end of the day, we all human. We all breathe. We all do the same things and have the same type of stuff going on with ourselves. So you should never just feel like because people look at you as a face in the community or a face in the basketball game that you're higher than someone. I never understood that whole concept. So that's why I'm the way I am. That's just my character, how I've always been since I was little.
And just out of curiosity, this is kind of like this isn't even like a good question, but I mean, you have 22,000 followers right now. How'd you blow up like that, or do you not even know?
I would say with athletes, especially like you say, athletes of the status in high school or being ranked and stuff. I think that's not really that hard to blow up like that. You just play, you just
Well,
keep playing.
but you're saying that, but I could probably find. I think the guys probably like all around like where you're ranked, like a good amount of them probably have like less followers than you. Like you have like probably not like the most in your class, but you're on the side of like more people, uh, like more followers. So that's why I kind of asked. Like it's you actually saying like being an athlete like at that level, we're all gonna have tons of followers, but like you have a lot
No, I'm
more that.
not saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're saying than the normal amount, but first off, I don't even look at like I mean that stuff. Following on social media is not really that important to me personally, but it's a nice thing to have. I mean, and the way I did it, I mean, it just like I was getting to. I mean, if you're an athlete and you're playing stuff, you got all these media outlets and people recording you, coming to your games and posting you, and it just every day, anything anything you do pertaining to your sport or what you do, they're gonna see it, post it, or report on it how they're supposed to do because they're media, and kids see that or kids look up to you in your community. They follow you. They just look up to you. So that's all I that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, yeah. But see what I was trying to say. So the guy ranked number 68th, Bensley Joseph. So you have 22,000, and he only has 4,515. So that's all I was trying to say. Like you've had like a bigger blow up. So I don't know. Like, did you ever have some big game where all of a sudden, like, or some big play where your followers just kind of blew up all of a sudden, like you just went viral, or are you really, I guess,
And then
really?
also, yeah, like with mine, I think it was just more gradual. It was more gradual. It wasn't just a play or something. It just from me being on social media, people hearing my name buzzing around, and it was just going up like that.
Yeah, you saying that like I don't know, maybe that's because I searched up before, but I've definitely like heard of your name before, and I don't really know from where exactly, but yeah, like your name's definitely been thrown around a lot. And today, as everyone knows, was signing day. Big accomplishment for you. What did you do today to celebrate that really big accomplishment?
Just hang out with family and loved ones. I mean, the people that helped me get to where I'm at, because without them, I wouldn't be here. My teammates, coaches, everybody. I could just name all day all the people that were involved in this process. It wasn't just me. So just it really was a day for them as well, just to see how their patience and their will to make me a better player in person paid off.
And just committing to school and like saying that verbally is one thing. When you really put that pen to the paper, just how does that whole moment feel when you're literally signing, your letter of intent to play at UF? It's almost like, no turning back now. Almost take us through when you were literally signing your name on I guess the contract or whatever.
It was a surreal feeling, man. It's just like I say again, man. It just shows all the hard work that I put in, and show all the hard work that I'm about to put in once I get there, and it's just a reflection of my life and what I want it to be and what I've dreamed of.
And you did end up going on a visit to UF, so was that a lot of fun?
Yeah, it was like I had already been there probably about 3 or 4 times on unofficials. So my official, as officials go there a lot different from unofficials. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I already knew the campus a little bit, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Why did you end up taking so many unofficial visits? Not to a school locally, but you had to make either like a decent drive or a flight at least to get there. And you said you went on like 3 unofficial visits to UF. So why did you take so many to that school?
'Cause I really think it was just because I was just so young that I couldn't take the officials. Same way with a lot of other schools. Like I went to South Florida, Mercer. I took so many unofficial visits, man. Like it didn't make sense. It didn't make any sense. But and I just really think that because I was in the 10th, 9th, 10th grade, and I couldn't take those officials yet. And then when COVID hit, I mean, it was over with by then.
Yeah, but like I guess the thing is because you're saying ninth, 10th grade. I mean, you could have just taken one visit, kind of called it at that. Like you chose to take multiple um, to the school. Like I don't think I know anybody that's taken like maybe they take their unofficial and official, but I don't know anyone that's taken their like multiple unofficials to the same school, especially when it's not really locally by them. That's what I was trying to ask about that.
Um, of course, they were always in the conversation for being a school I could potentially go to, but at the same time, that wasn't the only school that I took multiple unofficials to. I took multiple unofficials to Georgia Tech, to Georgia. So it was other schools like that, but of course they're locally it's easier to drive there. I see what you're saying there, but it was because they were one of the schools that I was considering hard, but just because what they were showing me and they were showing investing their time in me and showing that they were really ready to do this thing and considering me very hard, like that was their guy.
And you're telling me you're considering the school hard and all that stuff. Just it like in the end, why did you choose to commit to the University of Florida?
It was really the consistency. No, in it, like a lot of people want to say time because they were my first offer as a freshman. That played a part in the beginning. But once you get in that process of coaches calling you and you taking all these visits, that goes out the door a little bit, and coaches are starting to have to actually recruit you and try to get you there. So the consistency, no other school was that consistent. No other school said from day one all the way to the day up before me committing that you're our guy. We're not gonna take this guy until you tell us what you're doing. No other school did that, and that was just really sealed the deal for me.
And a lot of guys, obviously, if you're committing to the school, you're going to really love the school and support it, unless you maybe end up decommitting. Something like sus happens over there. But other than that, like I think you're the first guy. I'm interviewing you. You're still in high school. You got the UF banner behind you. Just how much pride do you have in being a Gator?
I have a lot of pride in that, man. It's just I'm ready to get to work, man. I'm just ready to get to work. I love the environment. I love the campus. I love the people there. It's great people, great high character people there, and that's what I got to say about it.
And well, all right, bro. I literally had a brain fart. Like I literally like, whoa, I don't know if happened to you before. That's crazy. Okay, I'm back. I am so sorry. I don't even know what happened to me, but I don't know if it's a factor at all. But UF, they're one of the, not the few, but they're one of the schools that are sponsored by the Jordan brand. I don't know if you're into drip that much, but I mean, when you're going to a school sponsored by Jordan, I mean, that's kind of where you want to be for all the gear and all that stuff. Did you ever think about that while you're trying to make your decision, or was that never a thought?
Oh no, that's definitely never a thought. I mean, that's never gonna play a role. That never played a role in my recruitment at all. Like it just put on what you go put on and go play the game, man. All this stuff, nah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like it doesn't really matter, I guess. Like free, like free and cool clothes is like free cool clothes. Can't say no to that. But I don't know. Like you realize like you're gonna get hooked up with like some good stuff. I mean,
Yeah, and
I,
I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for
yeah,
that.
yeah, sure. It's not like you're grateful, but like I guess you're just not into clothes like that. I guess.
I mean, I'm into clothes and stuff like that. I mean, I like Vans, Converse, Air Max. I mean, I like clothes and shoes, and of course I got a million anime shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. So I'm into stuff like that. I mean, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, what if UF like would you maybe cry if UF made you not like a customized, like if Jordan somehow made like an anime looking Gators logo on a sweatshirt? How much would
Man,
you love?
man, I love that. I probably would never even wear it. I might put that in the frame and just hang it up in my room.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like the stuff. I don't even know how many. Like, well, there's three, four. I want to say there's like at least four Jordan sponsors. Like, there's not many. Like the stuff you're getting is so exclusive. I mean, like once you graduate college, I mean, you can sell that stuff like a lot of money because they're not really selling that stuff online. I don't think. I'd be ecstatic
Gotcha.
if I were you, man. I'd be so happy just because of all the Jordan stuff. I mean, that's just crazy.
Oh yeah.
And continuing on in the interview, um, at the moment, you are the only commit for the Gators so far. So, what has your role been in recruiting other guys, to come to the school in the 2021 class? And could you maybe give us any sneak peek on some of the guys you're really trying hard to get to join you over there in Gainesville?
Well, I really was only trying to get two guys, Alex Fudge and Carter Witt. I was trying to get those two guys. Was trying to recruit them really hard. But as you know, they went to Wake Forest and LSU, which is fine because you never know anyone's situation. You just on the outside looking in. But for now, I'm really not looking at that because I think they might probably looking for those other scholarships they had. They probably looking to the transfer portal or something like that because that what I think really going to set high school kids back a lot. I think high school kids are going to begin to be secondary because now players can come right in and play if they transfer.
And I guess Alex Fudge, obviously Carter Witt, so he's at Wake Forest, so that's the ACC. Even though I mean, depending on the schedule, like maybe you're going to play him, but Alex Fudge in the SEC, chances are very high you're going to play him. I'm sure it's all like respect, but maybe playing LSU and they have a really nice recruiting class. That's something that you're super excited to play, just because it's like I tried so hard. I was trying to get to my school, like not a rivalry, but is that going to be a team you're super excited to play against in the SEC?
Um, Probably not because I look at every game the same. So I'm gonna be excited to play. Well, yes and no, because I'm gonna be excited to play every single
Yeah.
game. And yeah,
Are you really into college basketball and like the NBA, or do you kind of just play the game? You don't really follow it as much.
I definitely follow it. I mean, especially on social media, it's kind of like you have no choice to with the
Yeah.
people that you follow, or even on the sport page, you see all type of NBA and stuff because it's suggested on stuff that you do and they see you do so.
So I'm wondering. I made a statement to my dad. All due respect to the ACC, but I feel like the SEC, either the SEC, Big Ten. We're not going to count the Big East because they're all basketball, so you can't really say like they're the best. And it's only basketball, it's all they focus on. But if we put maybe the SEC, ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, and Pac 12, I would also say the SEC or the Big Ten are the best for basketball. Would you agree with that statement?
Um, I don't know because historically you got some great ACC programs though.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is why, because
Historically,
the ACC is UNC, Duke, and Virginia, and I guess Louisville, but it's almost like UNC and Duke kind of control the whole thing. Virginia, won a national championship recently, but and like Syracuse hasn't been like too good lately. I don't know. I think the SEC, at least the SEC and Big Ten, are a lot more competitive. As you can say, it's like a
I
ton of good teams.
I would say currently. I would say currently
Yeah,
within the last probably I don't know couple years, not couple years, but 10 years, 20 years, something like that. Maybe I'll say that. But historically, I would say ACC though. Just off the fact of the Duke and the North Carolina, like those two are historically probably the most popular programs in history. of college sport in basketball wise.
Yeah, but I do feel like the SEC. I mean, they are on the rise. Like UF. I mean, they last year I think they were ranked like top 5 at one point. They got a good program. I mean, Trey Mann's over there. He was a 5-star. He committed there. That probably wasn't their first 5-star, but they're a pretty good team. Then like Auburn. I mean, they've been doing unbelievable recently. LSU too. Kentucky, blue blood. They may even win the national championship. I mean, yeah, I mean, all those schools themselves are super top notch. So I'm glad you kind of answered that question for me because I was really wondering about that. But now, what are your goals for your final season of high school basketball?
My main goal individually is state championship and just continue to have gradual growth and individual success. But yeah, those are my main 2 goals. But we got to take it one step at a time, one game at a time. And that's how it's gonna get done.
Definitely. And what you end up doing over the summer, since everything was so unprecedented, like maybe you were playing for this AAU team, then they were like, oh, sorry, we're not doing anything. There's a lot of stuff we're getting canceled, a lot of things we're getting like not reopened, but then they'll be like once a door opens, once the door closes, another door opens. I'm sure like everything was kind of a mess for players figuring out. Like a lot of guys play with one team this weekend, and new team next weekend, like flip-flopping teams. Like the summer was kind of crazy for some guys. So what'd you end up doing over the summer?
I focus a lot on my body and conditioning and some weights and running a lot. So I only really played in one tournament this summer, AAU wise. So yeah, that's what I did over summer. I just focused on strength and conditioning mainly. And the one tournament I did play, I played with the team I've been playing for all this time.
Okay, so that's definitely pretty nice. I'm just wondering, being an athlete, and I mean you're 6'6", like you're probably huge. What's the heaviest weight you've ever lifted?
I can't really remember. I don't, cause it's I do quality over quantity. I really don't lift heavy, but I get a lot of reps in. So
Okay.
that's how I tackle strength stuff.
Technically, if you think of that statement though, you technically do quantity over quality because quality would be like,
Yeah, that's what I
yeah,
meant. That's a confusing statement, but yeah, that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
meant. Those 2 are confusing.
yeah. Of course, it's all good. But anyways, we made it to the end of the interview. Actually, I want one question before I ask my final one. Do you know what you're going to be studying in college at all? Do you have any idea what you want to major in?
I want to major in graphic design, but I also want to try to minor in journalism.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Why do you think you want to do those 2 careers? I mean those are pretty like not well. Graphic design is obviously artsy, and then journalism too is not an art, but it's entertaining. Like 2 things that kind of involve like performing or an art or something like that. Why are you interested in those 2 things?
Because I always, from a young age, not even just anime, I always just like creativity and taking something in your head and being able to see it visually, how I wanted it to be made out. That's one of the main reasons.
And in terms of journalism, like, do you want to write articles or even be on TV? Like, do interviewing like this? What do you want to do with that?
Oh, I think I just want to tap into a lot of different things. So it could be articles, reporting on things, write my own book, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, ask you want to write your own book?
Yeah, I definitely want to write my own book. I write all the time now. So I'm capable of doing something like that.
What you need to share? What do you? I guess what do you write? Like, do you write like poems or do you literally write like books? I guess.
Currently, I'm on and off writing my own personal book I've been writing about. But before that, yeah, I wrote a lot of poems and speeches and always have art to it, draw and create something. So that's what I like. That's where the graphic part comes in.
Yeah. Can you give us any preview to your book that you're writing?
Um, I was I just write about my experiences as a teenager, as a teenager and what teenagers face that some people may take lightly, but it really messes with their mind and their health.
Man, that actually sounds like a good book. I'm not gonna. I'd probably read that. How many? Like, are you trying to write like a whole chapter book or something like an easy read?
I don't even know at this point. I mean, it's just really all over the place. I had to organize it. It's just a bunch of just. I haven't wrote it in paragraph style or anything like that. I just been writing. Whenever something hits my mind, I just write it down.
Oh yeah. I get what you mean. I think I've done that for something before. Oh, I remember. I may want to make a website one day, so I got like an idea for it. So I was kind of like, I'm probably never gonna make one, but if I do, I have like my ideas for it, I guess. So yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And anyways, my final question for you is: what do you want your legacy to be like once you step away from the game of basketball?
I just want to be remembered as a person that gave it his all. His effort and work ethic was second to none. Like it was so far ahead of his competition that it wasn't even funny. Like I wanted to be like that. Like I might not be the most talented, might not shoot the best, be the strongest, fastest, but the work ethic that I put in, I want that to be remembered and motivate others to do what they want to do in their life.
Yeah, that's big time, man. And anyways, before we end the show, is there anything you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
No, not really. Go Gators, I guess.
I won't do the chomp thing just because I'm a UM fan for now. But if you want to do the chomp, I guess you could do it if you want. It's up to you.
No, man, I'm gonna just say go Gators, man. I think that's why I'm gonna leave it at.
All right, yeah, I won't do that. Not until maybe I go there. Oh wow, he already dipped already. All right, well, anyways, guys, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at Wacie_Wacie. I'm at iHoopsFL. This is a great interview. Hope you guys liked it. Just letting you know, I think you probably left by accident, by the way. It wasn't because anything bad. I think it was not an accident. But anyways, for 2021 4-star Gators commit, Kowacie Reeves. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.